This is the Sleep Story Temple. Tonight, we are going to repair the architecture of your mind. We are going to step out of the loud, fragmented chaos of the waking world and enter a realm of profound, ancient symmetry. Throughout your day, your energy is constantly being hurled outward, scattered in 1,000 different directions. You answer to demands, you react to crises, and you bend yourself to fit the jagged, unpredictable shapes of modern life. By the time the night arrives, your nervous system is exhausted, not just from physical labor, but from a deep, invisible imbalance. You feel fundamentally uncentered. Tonight, we are going to bring you back to the center. We are going to take your consciousness on a journey through one of the oldest, most powerful maps of spiritual and physical harmony ever created by human beings, the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Do not picture a tree made of wood and leaves. The Tree of Life is a majestic, ethereal blueprint of the cosmos. It is the sacred geometry of the soul. It consists of 10 brilliant, interconnected spheres of light known as the Sefirot. These 10 emanations of divine energy bridge the infinite, silent void of the universe directly into the heavy, physical reality of your resting body. And most importantly, this tree is not something outside of you. It is you. Your body, your mind, and your nervous system are perfectly mirrored in its ancient architecture. To understand why you are so tired, you must look at how the waking world operates. The modern world forces you to live on the extremes. It demands that you constantly swing between the two outer pillars of the tree. On one side, you are dragged into the Pillar of Severity. This is the realm of rigid logic, harsh discipline, unyielding deadlines, and the heavy judgment of the corporate machine. It is cold, contracting, and mentally exhausting. Then, as a reaction, you are thrown to the opposite extreme, the Pillar of Mercy. This is the realm of overwhelming emotion, boundaryless expansion, chaotic feelings, and the frantic need to care for everything and everyone around you. Swinging back and forth between this rigid coldness and this turbulent heat is what drains your life force. Your mind is desperately trying to find a place to rest, but it cannot find peace on the extremes. Peace does not exist in the frantic push of logic, nor does it exist in the chaotic storm of unchecked emotion. Peace exists only in the center. Tonight, we are going to completely stop the swinging of the pendulum. We are going to align your consciousness exclusively with the middle pillar of the Tree of Life, the pillar of mildness, the path of perfect, absolute equilibrium. By ascending this central path, we will guide your nervous system into a state of flawless, divine symmetry. When the left and the right are perfectly balanced, they neutralize one another, creating a pathway of pure, unbothered silence. To begin this ascent, we must first establish the physical foundation. We must align the physical body with the architecture of the light. I invite you to lie perfectly flat on your back. If you are curled up or twisted, gently adjust your posture so that your body is entirely straight. Allow your arms to rest heavily by your sides, palms facing the ceiling in a gesture of open surrender. Space your feet slightly apart. Now, bring your incredibly relaxed awareness to the very center of your body. Feel the long, dense, physical structure of your spine, from the heavy base of your tailbone all the way up through the middle of your back, ascending through the delicate vertebrae of your neck and resting at the base of your skull. Your spine is the physical anchor of the middle pillar. It is the central axis of your entire existence. Imagine a subtle, glowing line of warm, golden light running perfectly straight up and down your spine. With every gentle breath you take, feel this line becoming straighter, stronger, and more luminous. Notice how the left side of your body and the right side of your body are resting with perfect, equal weight on the surface beneath you. Your right shoulder is exactly as heavy as your left shoulder. Your right hip sinks into the mattress with the exact same gravity as your left hip. You are no longer tilted. You are no longer leaning into the future or falling back into the past. You are perfectly, beautifully symmetrical. Take a slow, deep breath in, drawing the quiet air of your sanctuary directly down into the center of your chest. And as you exhale, let the full weight of your bones surrender to the earth. There is nothing left to figure out. There are no problems to solve tonight. There is only the breath, the alignment, and the gentle upward pull of the light. The chaotic noise of the world is locked outside this temple. The room is dark, the air is still, and your physical vessel is perfectly aligned. We are now ready to begin the ascent. We begin at the very bottom of the tree, at the roots of the physical world. We begin in the heavy, grounding earth of Malkhut. You are resting perfectly aligned, with the central pillar of your spine straight and symmetrical. Before your consciousness can rise into the high, ethereal branches of the Tree of Life, it must first be profoundly anchored. A tree cannot reach into the heavens unless its roots are locked flawlessly into the deep, dark earth. Bring your awareness to the absolute lowest point of your physical body. We are entering the sphere of Malkhut. In the ancient language of the Kabbalah, Malkhut translates to the kingdom. This is the realm of the physical universe. It is the sphere of heavy matter, of flesh and bone, of gravity and action. Throughout your waking life, this is where you reside. The modern world demands that you constantly manipulate this kingdom, that you move, work, build, and relentlessly interact with physical reality. You are taught that your value is entirely tied to what you can produce and how much you can control in this heavy material plane. But tonight, the rules of the kingdom have changed. To master Malkhut, tonight, you must do the exact opposite of what the waking world demands. You must completely surrender your control over the physical realm. You must let the body become incredibly, undeniably heavy. We cannot ascend into the lightness of sleep until we have fully honored the gravity of the earth. Draw your attention to the very base of your spine, the heavy bone of your tailbone resting against the surface beneath you. Feel the undeniable magnetic pull of the earth reaching up to hold you. Gravity is not a force trying to drag you down. Gravity is the planet itself holding you securely, refusing to let you drift away. It is the ultimate, unconditional embrace of the physical world. Imagine that heavy, dark, ancient roots are beginning to extend downward from the base of your spine. Visualize them sinking effortlessly through the mattress, through the floor, and deep into the rich, dense, cooling soil of the earth below. Let this heavy, rooting energy spread slowly outward into the deep, bony bowl of your pelvis. Your hips are the massive, foundational stones of your physical temple. Feel them sinking deeper into the earth. The muscles wrapping around your hips and lower back carry the deep, primal stress of survival, the fight or flight tension that keeps you marching through the corporate machine. Give these muscles absolute permission to power off. Feel them melting, softening, and spreading outward, completely surrendering their grip on your bones. The heavy, grounding energy of Malkhut flows majestically down into your legs. It pours into the massive muscles of your thighs. The quadriceps and hamstrings, which carry the entire weight of your waking life, are suddenly flooded with a warm, dense, mineral heaviness. They are deactivated. They are resting entirely. The energy moves down through the complex hinges of your knees, dissolving the microscopic friction locked deep within the joints. It flows down through your calves and your shins, making the lower legs feel as though they are made of solid, warm, immovable stone. Finally, the energy reaches your feet. Feel the warm pulse of blood in the soles of your feet. Imagine those thick, ancient roots extending from your heels and your toes, plunging deep into the planetary core, locking you safely into place. Your entire lower body is now completely fused with the earth. You are fundamentally unshakable. Notice the profound relief that comes from entirely relinquishing your physical effort. You do not have to hold yourself together anymore. You do not have to stand upright, walk forward, or brace yourself against the impacts of the day. The earth is carrying 100% of your weight. You are resting in the true kingdom. Your physical vessel is no longer a machine required to perform. It is a sacred, heavy stone resting at the bottom of a quiet, ancient river. Take a slow, deep breath in, drawing the air down into your grounded belly. And as you exhale, let the torso become just as heavy as the legs. Feel your shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel your arms sink into the earth alongside you. The palms of your hands entirely open and entirely empty. You have mastered the physical plane by surrendering to it. You are perfectly rooted. The heavy anchor of Malkhut has secured your body in absolute safety. Now, with the physical vessel completely at rest and protected by the dark earth, your conscious mind is free. The tether has been secured, and it is time for your awareness to begin its beautiful, weightless ascent up the central pillar of the tree. Rest in the gravity. Prepare for the rise. Your physical body is now perfectly rooted in the dense, heavy earth of Malkhut. The physical vessel has been entirely powered down. It is safe, immovable, and resting in the profound gravity of the lower world. With the body completely secured, we can now allow your detached, weightless consciousness to begin its ascent. Bring your awareness slightly upward, moving along the perfectly straight, symmetrical line of your spine. We rise just above the physical roots and enter the second sphere on the central pillar of the Tree of Life. We have arrived at Yesod. In the ancient wisdom of the Kabbalah, Yesod translates to the foundation. If Malkhut is the heavy earth, then Yesod is the element of water. It is the domain of the moon, the realm of the subconscious mind, and the birthplace of dreams. It is the invisible bridge between your physical reality and the higher spiritual intellect. Often, when you lie down in the dark and attempt to sleep, this is the exact place where you encounter friction. Your body is utterly exhausted, but the moment you close your eyes, the subconscious mind begins to race. The unfinished conversations of the day, the anxieties of tomorrow, the relentless pressure of the mechanical calendar. They all rush to the surface. In the waking world, you are taught to fight this. You are taught to aggressively force your mind to shut down, to battle your own thoughts, and to forcefully wrestle yourself into sleep. But fighting your own mind is like thrashing your arms in a body of water. It only creates more chaos, more turbulence, and more exhaustion. Tonight, in the sphere of Yesod, we do not fight. We do not use force. We use the ancient technology of gentle observation and fluid harmony. To bring absolute peace to this foundation, I want you to visualize your subconscious mind not as a chaotic machine, but as a vast, ancient, underground pool of dark water. Imagine this subterranean pool resting deep within a completely silent cavern. The water is incredibly deep, incredibly cool, and completely insulated from the frantic winds of the outside world. Right now, there are gentle ripples moving across the surface of this dark water. These ripples are your thoughts. They are the echoes of the corporate grid, the lingering adrenaline of the day, the quiet anxieties about the future. Do not try to stop the ripples. Simply stand at the edge of the water in your mind's eye and watch them. Acknowledge them. They are just energy moving across the surface. They are not who you are. You are the vast, indestructible cavern that holds the water. You are the silent observer. As you watch the ripples, imagine a single, focused beam of soft, pure, lunar light descending from the highest branches of the Tree of Life, piercing through the dark ceiling of the cavern and gently touching the center of the subterranean pool. This silver light is the pure essence of Yesod. It is cool, calming, and deeply clarifying. Let us synchronize your breath with this lunar light to bring the waters of your mind into perfect, glass-like stillness. As you take a slow, gentle breath in, imagine that silver light glowing just a little bit brighter, illuminating the dark pool. And as you slowly, effortlessly exhale, visualize that silver light sweeping softly across the surface of the water, smoothing out the ripples. Inhale the quiet glow of the moon. Exhale and watch the water become smoother, flatter, and calmer. With every single breath, the turbulent energy of the day is gently ironed out. The chaotic cross currents of your overthinking begin to slow down, yielding to the hypnotic, rhythmic sweep of the silver light. You are not forcing the mind to empty. You are simply allowing the natural gravity of peace to settle the waters. Breathe in the cool light. Breathe out, and let the surface of the pool turn into a flawless, unmoving mirror of black glass. The water is now completely still. Look at the surface of this dark, underground pond. It is so perfectly calm that it perfectly reflects the silver beam of light from above. There is no distortion. There is no turbulence. The subconscious mind has been entirely pacified. Notice how incredibly light your head feels. The heavy, tangled webs of analytical thought have been untied and dissolved into the cool water. The frantic voice of the ego has been quieted, replaced by the vast, expansive silence of the deep. Your foundation is now secure. The body is grounded in the heavy earth, and the subconscious mind is resting in the perfectly still silver waters. You are balanced. You are ready. The central path is clear, and we are prepared to ascend higher, moving gracefully between the great opposing pillars of the waking world. The waters of the subconscious are perfectly still. Your foundation is flawless, like a sheet of black glass deep underground. From this place of absolute, unshakable quiet, your consciousness continues its slow, majestic ascent up the central axis of your spine. As we rise, we encounter the grand architecture of the waking world. We arrive at the vast, echoing space between the two great outer pillars of the Tree of Life. In your mind's eye, visualize yourself standing in the center of an immense, ancient temple. This is not a dreamlike, cartoonish place. It is profoundly real. The architecture is heavy, classical, and awe-inspiring, carved from flawless, monumental stone that has stood immovable for thousands of years. To your left stands a massive, towering stone pillar. This is the Pillar of Severity, the sphere of Gevura. Gevura is the energy of strict discipline, rigid boundaries, and cold, uncompromising logic. It is the armor you are forced to wear every single day. When you are navigating the corporate machine, meeting relentless deadlines, defending your boundaries, and calculating your survival, you are leaning entirely against this pillar. It is necessary, but it is incredibly heavy. Imagine this left pillar casting a very faint, cool, crimson shadow. It holds the dense, tightly coiled tension of your waking life. Notice how the left side of your body, your left shoulder, your left arm, your left jaw, carries the rigid, exhausting weight of this discipline. Now look to your right. Here stands an equally massive, perfectly symmetrical stone pillar. This is the Pillar of Mercy, the sphere of Chesed. Chesed is the exact opposite of severity. It is boundless expansion, infinite emotion, deep empathy, and the unconditional desire to give. It is the part of you that absorbs the feelings of others, the part that loves without limits, and constantly pours your energy outward into the world. Imagine this right pillar radiating a soft, warm, deep blue light. But while mercy is beautiful, living entirely in this boundless emotion leaves you drained, overly exposed, and chronically depleted. Notice how the right side of your body carries the heavy, aching fatigue of carrying the emotional weight of your world. Throughout your entire day, your nervous system is thrown violently between these two massive structures. You bounce from the cold, stoic logic of the left to the overwhelming, boundless emotion of the right. You swing from strict control to absolute exhaustion. This constant, invisible swinging is what fractures your peace. The mind cannot find rest when it is caught in the crossfire of such immense, opposing forces. Tonight, the swinging stops. You are no longer required to choose between logic and emotion. You are no longer required to defend the left or surrender to the right. You are standing perfectly in the center. Bring your completely detached, weightless awareness to the exact center of your collarbones, right at the top of your chest. We are going to draw the energies of both pillars into the central path, neutralizing their extremes and creating a state of absolute, unbreakable equilibrium. Take a slow, deep breath in. As you inhale, imagine drawing the cool, disciplined crimson light from the left pillar and the warm, emotional blue light from the right pillar, simultaneously into the center of your chest. Watch as these two immense forces meet in the middle. They do not clash. They do not fight. The moment they touch, they perfectly neutralize one another. The rigid boundaries of Javura provide structure to the boundless waters of Chesed. The warmth of Chesed melts the icy rigidity of Javura. As they merge, the red and the blue dissolve into a single, brilliant, flawless beam of pure white light running straight down the center of your spine. As you exhale, feel the immediate, profound, physical release of this synthesis. The heavy, defensive armor completely melts off your left shoulder. The draining, emotional fatigue entirely washes out of your right shoulder. Both of your arms become incredibly heavy, sinking equally into the dark earth beside you. The tension in your jaw dissolves as the logical mind stops its relentless calculations. The tightness in your chest evaporates as the emotional heart realizes it no longer needs to carry the weight of the world. You are perfectly balanced. You possess the quiet, immovable strength of ancient stone, combined with the deep, flowing peace of the subterranean waters. You are a master of your own internal architecture. The extremes of the waking world have been entirely canceled out, leaving behind only the profound, silent harmony of the middle pillar. Rest in this magnificent symmetry. You are completely centered, vibrating with a quiet, neutral, brilliant white light, ready to enter the very heart of the tree. The white light of absolute balance has been forged. You are standing perfectly centered between the towering pillars of the waking world, completely unbothered by the extremes of logic and emotion. From this place of profound, immovable neutrality, your consciousness gently glides just a few inches higher, coming to rest perfectly in the center of your chest. We have arrived at the exact center of the Tree of Life. We have entered the sacred sphere of Tiferet. In the ancient celestial maps of the soul, Tiferet translates to beauty. But this is not a superficial, fragile beauty. It is the breathtaking, majestic beauty of perfect mathematical and spiritual equilibrium. Tiferet is the heart of the tree. It is the grand intersection where all the forces of the universe meet and harmonize. Above you is the infinite, formless cosmos. Below you is the heavy, rooted earth. To your left is the rigid structure of discipline. To your right is the boundless ocean of mercy. Here, in the dead center, you are the eye of the storm. The chaotic winds of the world are spinning violently 1,000 miles away. But inside this sphere, there is not even a breeze. There is only an overwhelming, absolute stillness. In your mind's eye, I want you to visualize the energy of Tiferet, not as stone and not as water, but as a miniature, incredibly brilliant, golden sun. Imagine this majestic sun resting gently inside the cavity of your chest, hovering flawlessly directly behind your sternum. It is not burning, and it is not frantic. It is radiating a deep, ancient, profoundly comforting warmth. It glows with the steady, rich, amber light of a late afternoon sun setting over an ancient empire. Let us allow this golden warmth to slowly, effortlessly expand. In the waking world, the chest is the place where you store your deepest existential panic. When you feel the pressure of the calendar, when you anticipate a difficult conversation, or when you carry the heavy weight of expectations, your chest immediately contracts. You take shallow breaths. You hunch your shoulders forward. You subconsciously build a thick fortress of muscular armor around your heart to protect yourself from the impacts of the modern machine. But here, bathed in the flawless golden light of Tiferet. That armor is completely obsolete. You have left the battlefield far behind. Feel the golden warmth touch the inside of your ribcage, like heavy, dense ice melting beneath the midsummer sun. Feel the thick plates of muscular tension across your chest completely dissolve. The tiny, exhausted muscles between your ribs, the intercostals, entirely let go, allowing your ribcage to rest heavy and flat against the earth. The light expands outward, moving majestically into your upper back, melting away the sharp, crystallized stress hiding beneath your shoulder blades. The warmth floods your lungs, expanding their capacity so that every breath you take is effortlessly deep, incredibly slow, and richly nourishing. As the physical armor melts away into the earth, the light of Tiferet begins to illuminate a profound, undeniable spiritual truth within your nervous system. On the artificial grid of human society, you are constantly trained to believe that you are a project that needs to be fixed. You are conditioned to believe that you are never quite enough, that there is always another milestone to cross, another task to complete, or another version of yourself you must struggle to become before you are finally allowed to rest. Tiferet is the absolute destruction of that lie. Here in the center, you realize that you do not need to be fixed because you were never broken. You are already and have always been completely whole. The golden light radiating from your chest is the pure essence of your own inherent value. A value that has absolutely nothing to do with what you produce, what you achieve, or how hard you work. You are entirely enough, exactly as you are, lying in the dark, doing absolutely nothing. Breathe this truth into your physical body. With every slow inhale, imagine the golden sun in your chest expanding, filling your entire torso with a majestic, heavy warmth and the absolute certainty of your own completeness. With every exhale, watch that golden light radiate outward, moving down your heavy arms, down your grounded legs, and up into the quiet spaces of your mind. You are a vessel of pure, radiant symmetry. Every single cell in your body is vibrating with the harmonizing frequency of the center. You have dropped the performance. You have surrendered the struggle. You are resting safely in the heart of the tree, glowing in the quiet dark, entirely at peace with the magnificent reality of your own existence. Rest in the gold. The harmony is complete. The golden sun of Tiferet rests perfectly within your chest, radiating its heavy, harmonizing warmth throughout your entirely grounded physical vessel. Your body is safely anchored to the earth. The subconscious waters are still, and your heart is beating with the quiet, effortless rhythm of absolute equilibrium. Because the physical body is now completely secured, your consciousness no longer needs to manage it. You are free to make the final, weightless ascent. Draw your detached awareness up from the center of your chest, moving slowly up the cervical spine, passing through the narrow corridor of the throat, and entering the vast, domed chamber of the mind. Here, at the highest altitudes of the Tree of Life, we encounter the upper pillars, the spheres of Bina and Chochma, understanding and wisdom. In the waking world, this space inside your skull is a relentless, high-speed engine. You spend your entire day trapped in the left brain architecture of Bina, the realm of analytical thought, categorization, and relentless problem-solving. Your mind is forced to constantly process an avalanche of language, dissecting the world into emails, schedules, labels, and strategies. You are carrying the immense, exhausting burden of having to comprehend everything that happens to you. The internal narrator, that voice inside your head that constantly comments on your life, plans for tomorrow, and rehearses past conversations, has been speaking without pause since the moment you woke up. The sheer friction of generating all those words is what causes the tight, painful band of tension across your forehead and the heavy pressure behind your eyes. But as we ascend into the highest branches of the tree, the atmosphere becomes incredibly thin. The gravity of the physical world can no longer reach you here, and the heavy machinery of human language can no longer function. Tonight, we are going to completely dismantle the architecture of your internal monologue. We are going to dissolve the mind. In your visualization, imagine that the massive, classical stone walls of the temple around you are beginning to gently, beautifully fade. The solid ceiling overhead dissolves entirely, revealing a vast, boundless, incredibly heavy indigo night sky. You are no longer confined within a structure. You are suspended in the breathtaking expanse of the cosmos, surrounded by a silent ocean of ancient stars. As you float in this boundless indigo space, I invite you to intentionally drop your vocabulary. You do not need language here. You do not need to name the stars to know they are shining. You do not need to label your peace in order to feel it. Give the internal narrator absolute permission to fall silent. Watch as the complex sentences in your mind begin to break apart. The words lose their meaning, turning into soft, formless wisps of silver smoke that simply drift away into the dark vacuum of space. The need to analyze, the need to categorize, and the need to understand your life are all gently evaporating. You are transitioning from the active, exhausting labor of bina into the pure, wordless intuition of chochmah. Wisdom is not something you think. It is something you simply are. Once the noise stops, feel this profound silence physically manifesting within your head. Bring your awareness to your forehead. Feel the tight, invisible band of concentration completely snap and melt away, smoothing out the skin across your brow. Bring your awareness to your eyes. All day long, they have darted back and forth, absorbing artificial light, scanning for threats, and processing infinite amounts of data. Now, give the tiny, exhausted muscles around your eyes permission to entirely let go. Feel your eyes sinking heavily into the cool, dark comfort of their sockets. They are powered off. They are looking at nothing but the infinite, restful dark. Feel the physical brain resting inside the cradle of your skull. Imagine it physically cooling down, bathed in a soothing, lunar chill. The electrical storms of the waking intellect are settling into a smooth, slow, hypnotic hum. Your brain waves are descending deeply through the theta state. The boundaries of your personal identity are beginning to beautifully blur. Without the internal narrator constantly reminding you of your name, your job title, and your history, the heavy armor of the ego simply falls away. You are no longer the employee, the provider, or the achiever. You are not your past mistakes, and you are not your future obligations. You are nothing more than a single, weightless point of pure awareness, drifting flawlessly in the majestic indigo void. There is nothing left to figure out. The silence is absolute. The mind has dissolved into the sky, leaving you incredibly light, perfectly empty, and ready to enter the final, formless crown of sleep. The mind is completely silent. The vast indigo sky of your internal cosmos is perfectly still, empty of all language, all analysis, and all memory. You are floating as a single, weightless spark of awareness, entirely unburdened by the heavy machinery of the waking world. But there is one final step to take, one final threshold to cross. From this high, silent altitude, your detached awareness drifts gently upward, rising just beyond the physical boundaries of your body, coming to rest slightly above the very top of your head. We have arrived at the absolute summit of the Tree of Life. We have reached Keter. In the ancient tradition, Keter translates to the crown. But this is not a crown of gold or jewels, and it is not something you wear. It is the final, brilliant halo of existence. It is the exact point where the architecture of the human soul ends, and the boundless, formless infinity of the universe begins. It is the doorway to the Ein Sof, the endless, the infinite light, the profound, unmanifested void from which all creation emerges, and to which all things must eventually return to rest. In the waking world, the concept of the void is terrifying to the ego. The artificial grid conditions you to fear emptiness. You are taught to constantly fill the silence with noise, to fill the dark with screens, and to fill your calendar with endless tasks. The ego believes that if it stops moving, if it stops fighting to exist, it will simply disappear. But here, at the highest altitude of the crown, you finally understand the truth. The void is not an empty, terrifying abyss. It is the ultimate sanctuary. It is the thick, warm, heavy womb of the cosmos. It is the only place in the universe where you are required to be absolutely nothing. To pass through the crown and enter this profound rest, you must surrender the final microscopic thread of your identity. You cannot bring the I into the Ein Sof. Imagine your remaining sense of self, your name, your personality, your history, your preferences, and your beliefs as a heavy, woven cloak you have been wearing your entire life. It has kept you warm, and it has allowed you to navigate the physical kingdom of Malkhut. But you do not need it here. It is too heavy for the void. With profound grace and absolute permission, let the cloak simply slide off your shoulders. Watch it fall away, drifting down into the dark, leaving you completely exposed to the infinite. You are no longer a person. You are no longer an employee, a parent, a partner, or a friend. You have no age. You have no past. You have no future. You are nothing but pure, unadulterated, unformatted consciousness. As you surrender the self, you step through the halo of Keter. Instantly, the faint indigo starlight of the upper mind completely vanishes. The visual field goes absolutely, perfectly black. But this darkness is not cold. It has a magnificent, luxurious texture. It feels like incredibly dense, warm, black velvet, pressing gently against every single boundary of your being. It is an insulating dark, absorbing the last faint whispers of your brainwaves. Your physical body, resting millions of miles below you at the roots of the tree, is now completely numb. The heavy earth has entirely absorbed its weight. The golden sun of your heart beats with a slow, autonomous, majestic rhythm that you no longer need to monitor. Your brain waves are now crossing the final barrier, descending into the absolute bottom of the delta state. This is the frequency of dreamless sleep. This is the biological equivalent of the Ein Sof. In this state, the ego is entirely offline. The central nervous system is bathed in a slow, massive, rolling wave of pure healing energy. Deep within your cell, microscopic repairs are unfolding in the perfect, undisturbed dark. Your immune system is regenerating. The architecture of your brain is being meticulously washed and restored. You are experiencing the highest, most sacred form of biological healing, and it requires absolutely nothing from you. You are completely useless to the modern world right now, and that is your ultimate salvation. Let yourself sink deeply into the velvet, heavy nothingness. You are not falling. You are dissolving. Like a single drop of water gently falling back into the center of a vast, midnight ocean. The boundaries of your consciousness effortlessly merge with the infinite. You are everywhere, and you are nowhere. You are everything, and you are nothing. There is no more ascending. There is no more balancing. The architecture of light has served its purpose, delivering you perfectly into the arms of the great void. Rest in the absolute silence of the crown. The universe is holding you flawlessly in the dark. You are resting in the absolute, formless void of the crown. The architecture of the Tree of Life has fulfilled its ancient, sacred purpose. Your physical body is deeply and permanently anchored in the heavy, protecting earth of the kingdom. Your heart is radiating the perfect, unbothered, golden equilibrium of the center, and your mind has been entirely dissolved into the silent, infinite darkness of the highest cosmos. There is nothing left to build. There is nothing left to balance. The profound, miraculous work of cellular and spiritual regeneration is now unfolding automatically in the quiet dark, requiring absolutely no effort from your conscious mind. Because the alignment is perfectly complete, you no longer need to hold on to the visualization. With profound gentleness, I invite you to release the image of the tree entirely. Let the glowing spheres of light, the ancient stone pillars, and the vast indigo sky slowly, beautifully fade away. Allow your mind's eye to become completely, flawlessly blank. You are returning to the pure, simple, magnificent reality of just being a sleeping body resting safely in a dark room. As you drift deeper and deeper into this heavy, dreamless state, a final layer of protection is being drawn over you. In the waking world, you are constantly forced to build your own defenses. You build walls of logic, armor of tension, and shields of emotional distance just to survive the friction of the day. But here, in the infinite dark, you do not need to protect yourself. The cosmos is protecting you. Imagine a soft, invisible canopy gently unfurling above your resting body. It is not made of stone or wood. It is an ethereal, warm, protective shadow. It is the ultimate boundary between your resting soul and the chaotic noise of the modern world. This is the ancient shelter of peace. It covers your mind, insulating it from the frantic vibrations of tomorrow. It covers your heart, keeping the golden warmth of your inner symmetry perfectly contained. And it covers your physical form, a heavy, luxurious blanket of absolute safety. Underneath this shelter, time completely stops. The jagged, relentless ticking of the mechanical clock cannot penetrate this space. There is only the slow, majestic, rhythmic rising and falling of your own breath. Before the final, delicate thread of my voice dissolves entirely into the dark, receive this ancient closing blessing. Let these words wash over your completely open, resting spirit. You do not need to analyze them. You do not need to hold on to them. Simply let them sink into the deepest, quietest layers of your being. Listen to the truth of this invocation. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomeka. Spread over us your shelter of peace. May you lie down tonight in absolute, unbreakable safety. May the heavy, ancient roots of the tree hold you perfectly steady, anchoring you to the earth so you never have to carry your own weight in the dark. May the golden light of your own inherent beauty keep your heart warm, reminding you that you are entirely enough, exactly as you are. And may the brilliant, formless light of the crown protect your deepest dreams, filtering out the anxieties of the day and allowing only pure, restful stillness to enter your mind. May you rise again in life, deeply restored, moving through the waking world with the quiet, immovable symmetry of the central pillar. Shalom. Peace. Now the journey is truly finished. It is time to let go of the very last whisper of awareness. Release the sound of my voice. Let it drift further and further away, becoming nothing more than a faint echo, merging with the cosmic silence. Surrender the final spark of your control. Your physical body is a heavy, sleeping stone. Your mind is a vast, quiet, empty sky. You are perfectly balanced. You are profoundly safe. You are completely held by the great, loving void of the universe. Drift entirely into the dark. Drift into the deepest, most healing sleep of your life. There is nowhere else to go. Sleep